Hey, my name is Pat from the Arch team, and I'll be going through the new data engineering agent. As you can see, I have an Arch organization here that has no tenants, no pipelines, no data warehouse, nothing set up yet. Traditionally, I would go through and add these myself, but now with the data engineering agent, you're able to chat and let the agent go off and do those tasks themselves. So where I'll start is if I've already completed my onboarding step where I've explained I want to extract some data from HubSpot and start analyzing metrics related to that. So I can jump into this data engineering chat that I've just started. And you can see I'm now chatting with Mel, which is our data engineering agent. And it detected that we have no tenants or resources set up like I just showed, and gave some suggestions on things that we can do to get started. We'll create a new tenant called My Data Platform. Great. It was able to create my data platform. And the first step here is to create a database that my HubSpot data can load into. Great. So it can help me create that database. If we hop back to the tenants page under the data ops tab, we can see that we now have a new tenant. And inside of that tenant, we have a Postgres database that's spinning up as we speak. The next step is to connect to our HubSpot data. Great. The agent behind the scenes is going through a couple steps. It's checking the available connectors to make sure that HubSpot is available. And then it's creating a connection between HubSpot and Postgres. It's telling me that in order to get started, I need to follow the credentials flow and authorize HubSpot to access my data. If we looked back at our tenants page, we could see that Mel was able to create this new connection between HubSpot and our Postgres database that's spinning up. And we need to go in here and just authorize access to our HubSpot account. The next step, now that we've set up our database and our HubSpot connection and authorized Arch to connect to HubSpot, we can have it understand the streams that are available and start syncing data. Here are some of the streams that it found. So as you can see, I've asked it to extract just companies data. It's discovered our available catalog of streams and it started to sync. We have companies selected here. So now I'm asking it to run the HubSpot connection once a day on a schedule. It's just checking with me first at what time it wants me to run. I'll say, let's run it at 5 a.m. Eastern time. Great. It's gone ahead and set up a daily schedule for 5 a.m. And as you can see, it ran into an error along the way, but it's able to correct its mistakes before coming back to me. So the task is accomplished without me having to intervene. Let's check on my database now and see if it's spun up. We check the status of my Postgres database and we can see that it's set up, fully operational, and it gives me the specs of the instance that it spun up, and it's ready to start receiving HubSpot data. Let's actually go ahead and change the schedule of our HubSpot pipeline to something a little more specific. I'll update my HubSpot connection to only run on weekdays at 6 a.m. That looks right. I'll confirm. Great. Looks like it's updated. So now if we check back on the connection, we could see that it's in a healthy state. It has an active schedule, and the schedule is set to run Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. New York City time. I'm now asking it to summarize what the status of my project is and see if there's anything that needs my attention. This could be useful on a daily check-in just to see across all my tenants or across all my connections, is there anything that needs attention? Okay, it came back and said, overall, everything looks good. I checked on my tenant database status. My HubSpot pipeline is healthy, and it suggests maybe exploring what other data is available for HubSpot because I only have companies selected right now. Everything else looks good. Summarized, we started with an empty Arch organization. We were able to use the data engineering agent to help autonomously set our project up. So we now have a tenant that Mel set up for us. Inside of that tenant, we have a HubSpot integration, which syncs into our Postgres database that Mel also set up. And it's in a healthy state, is actively running, syncing our company's data, and we did a couple iterations on the schedule, but it's now running on weekdays at 6 a.m.